Hello, beautiful people. Today we are talking about the scholar profession and where wins meet, also known as a perfect life path for anyone who secretly wants to roleplay as a martial arts Karen. With this profession, you don't necessarily need to use knowledge to win arguments. You can talk them out of pretty much any stance that they've taken with your gift of gab, your silver tongue, and a slightly superior tone. If you've ever wanted to just spend your days arguing with NPCs, the scholar profession is for you. So go grab your quick wits, your attitude, and then sit back, relax, and let's talk about the scholar profession. To get started with the scholar profession, you'll need to start the quest Legacy Scholar's Path that's located in southern Qinghe. You need to be level 13 in order to start the quest. And if it's not appearing for you, there's some things that you might want to try. You could track it manually from the journal, and if it's not there, it's possible that you need to progress a bit in the main story quest, or interact with one of the NPCs around the region that allow you to debate them. Later in the video, I'm going to explain how to find them, so if that's a problem you're having, skip ahead to the chapter where I talk about finding them. The game doesn't say anything other than being level 13 as far as a rec, but I will say that I did first interact with an NPC that I could debate before doing this quest. This scholar introduction quest or tutorial quest is actually really super easy. There's not much to do, and again, the game pretty much holds your hand through everything. To get started, all you have to do is go talk to your new friend Jan, and he's going to tell you that basically he doesn't have enough knowledge to teach you, and that you need to go inside and talk to someone who knows more than he does, which is honestly super valid. At that point, all you have to do is go inside and go up the stairs to find the person. I had to get here because I ran over and talked to the Silver Needle Disciple because I don't pay attention when NPCs talk to me, so I didn't know who I was supposed to talk to. Reading is fundamental, guys, don't be like me. Anyways, once you're up the stairs, you're going to see Wei just standing there looking out of a window thinking about his life and his choices. And then you'll enter into a cutscene. Essentially, Wei is upset and he's about to destroy all of his important nodes on his great work. And it's your job to use the gift of gab to convince him not to. And from here, you're going to be thrown into the tutorial debate. I'm going to explain it like a friend talking to you, but you can also see the instructions and tutorial on the screen as well. Okay, on the right side, you're going to see arguments of the NPC, and on the left side, you'll see your arguments. The number in the speech bubble on the bottom right is your inspiration. The cards in the middle of the screen are the different types of statements that you make in the debate, and they come from your deck of scholar cards. Each card has a number on it, and when you play a card, you consume inspiration. So if you want to use a card that requires high inspiration, you'll have to wait for your inspiration to replenish. The Kind Words card, for example, uses 5 inspiration when you play it, and inspiration recharges as the debate goes on. You don't have to do anything to get it back. Above the NPC, you'll see a health bar, and on the bottom left is your health bar. As you debate, your arguments will deal damage to the mental focus of your opponent, and if you get the health bar down to 0 before yours does, or the time is up, then you win. You can see the timer on the top right of the screen under the exit button. All debates are timed, so you need to continue to play cards at a steady pace to get through to the NPC before the time runs out. Some of your cards will deal damage and some will protect you or do both. Eventually you'll learn what all the cards do, but you can always hover over the cards to see what their effect will be. While you're debating, you'll see special action buttons pop up, E on the NPC side and Q on your side for keyboard and mouse. The buttons will disappear after a few seconds, so you do need to press them pretty quickly if you want to make a rebuttal and deal even more damage. There are different debate styles that you can use in the game, and you should choose the one that is most effective against whoever you're debating. They're bluster, provocation, rebuttal, and filibuster. Bluster is an aggressive, high-damage rhetoric approach. Provocation is emotional or provocative arguments that can silence or stun your opponents. Rebuttals are logical, defensive, evidence-based arguments. And filibuster is, of course, a drawn-out, endurance-focused, slow and steady rhetoric style. Bluster beats filibuster, filibuster beats rebuttal, rebuttal beats provocation, and provocation beats bluster. So depending on your opponent's style, you want to pick the style that's going to counter them. Wei's style was bluster, so we used provocation and we easily won. Once you finish with the tutorial debate, finish talking to Wei, then run out and talk to Jan again. And with that, you're pretty much finished and ready to get out there and start using your scholar profession. talking to Jan the first time is going to take you through basically how to find the scholar profession in your interfaces. And then once you're done looking at all that, you're going to have to close out of the interfaces and talk to Jan again in order to finish the quest and get your rewards. So now that we know how to use the scholar profession, let's go ahead and talk about how to find it in your interfaces and how to upgrade it. On keyboard and mouse, press escape to see all of the different interface options, and under character, you'll see profession. This will open the profession interface, and you'll have the option to see your healer or scholar profession. Of course, we're choosing Scholar for this one. The Scholar profession has 3 tabs, one for Scholar upgrade, one for Gift of Gab upgrade, and one for Talisman crafting. We're just focusing on the upgrade information in this video because Talisman crafting is pretty self-explanatory. You can craft talismans that have different effects and applications. The Scholar upgrade will increase your rank within the profession, your mastery, and give you profession-based attributes. Increasing the Gift of Gab, which is your deck of Scholar cards that gets played, will increase the trigger chance and damage multiplier of the cards. This is also where you unlock any cards that you have notes for. For the Scholar upgrade, you need career notebooks, and for the Gift of Gab upgrade, you need Scholar Gift of Gab notes. You can get career notebooks and Gift of Gab notes from the season shop by pressing Alt and 1 on keyboard and mouse, or by going to the shop from the tooltip button in the Scholar profession when you hover over the items needed, or the main interface season button. In the shop, you find them under Profession Development, and they all have a weekly buy limit, so you can only upgrade so much every week. The notes come from crates and are random, so you might not always get what you want every time. You can also get career notebooks from open world exploration using your profession and debating NPCs. The note crates go to your inventory and need to be opened up to obtain the notes. Once you have them, you just go to the Scholar upgrade interfaces and you upgrade whatever you want. You can choose to manually upgrade things, or you can just do Quick Enhance, which will upgrade anything that can be upgraded for you all at once. Once you've upgraded everything you can and want to, it's time to go out and use your new skill. So let's talk about next steps with the profession. If you want to help other players using your Scholar profession, you can complete Bounties. Open your interfaces, go to Wandering Paths, and on the bottom right side, you'll see Bounties. Once you're in the interface there, click on the first one that reads Profession, and there you'll see all of the bounties that have been posted by other players. This does include the healer profession as well, but anything that says Soul-Framing is for the Scholar profession. This is where a player has been falsely accused of doing something and they need someone to go out there and clear their name. That's where you come in. Now, I will say it's pretty hard to find a bounty just because there's so many people playing. There's only so many bounties available at any given time, although they do constantly refresh, and most of the time the bounties have already been accepted by another player. Just keep refreshing and eventually you'll get one. What I found that finally worked for me was refreshing twice in a row and then trying to grab a bounty. Once you get into the bounty, you'll be teleported to the NPC who is talking smack about the other player, and you'll be able to engage them in a debate. If you have high enough mastery, you'll be able to choose the quick Gift of Gab option, and if not, you'll have to start the debate and play the minigame. Another thing I want to point out is that unlike the healer profession, you don't have another player standing there waiting for you, so you can take your time and actually have fun with it and play the game if you want to without making anyone angry. Bounties have a 30-minute timer for completion, so you have that amount of time to try and win the debate. And what I'm doing here is a perfect example of what happens when you use the wrong debate style. This guy uses provocation, so I should have used rebuttal, but instead I was a noob and used provocation and was doing like absolutely no damage at all, and I couldn't figure out why at the time. I eventually did win this way, but I had to try several times, and I had to be super quick with it. My mastery wasn't high enough to just use Quick Gift of Gab, and also another thing to note is that Quick Gift of Gab doesn't seem to ever fail, and you still get all rewards that you would normally get for actually participating in the minigame. I think this whole thing is kind of cool. The profession actually plugs into the in-game justice crime bounty system, and you get to act as a kind of lawyer or advocate for other players, which makes the game feel like more of an MMO, even if you're still playing as a solo player. And it's also cool that instead of always drawing out your sword, you can use your wits to fight with NPCs, which is different from anything that I've personally played before. These sort of systems offer a very unique role in the game, where a lot of players are combat focused. If that's not your kind of vibe, you get to have a voice and a purpose beyond just hitting things. Anyways, when you're going through these debates, my recommendation is that you take as much time as you can to actually read what's happening and to choose the cards that make the most sense. I had to go pretty quickly because, like I said, I messed up and I wasn't doing enough damage to actually take my time. I barely got this win in before the timer ran out on the debate. But yeah, that's it. You just do the debate, then you win, you get your rewards, and you can keep doing that over and over again if you want. Another way to use the scholar profession and engage in debates is to find NPCs on the map indicated by a speech bubble that will allow you to use the gift of gab to argue with them. You will have to zoom in pretty close on the map in order to see them. One thing I want to point out is that if you can't remember which style beats the one that the NPC uses, it's okay because the game actually tells you. There's a thumbs up icon next to the style that is most effective when you click on the style that you want to use and go to change it. You just find these NPCs, debate them, and usually it's pretty fast and easy. Doing this and also completing bounties are the best way to get career notebooks if your weekly shop stock is on cooldown. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that this video helped you at least a little bit when it comes to understanding the scholar profession. It is somehow both simple and complex at the same time, and I know that when I was first learning it, I was super confused. These professions are super fun, very interesting, and a nice way to spend your time if you want to help people, interact with other players in a different way than normal, and also continue to progress your account when you're locked out of other content. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if this video helped you in any way. And most importantly, of course, be kind to one another. See you next time, friends.